UFC 300 Pereira versus Hill happening in 2 days, Saturday 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm excited, guys. I've never been this excited to watch a card. And let me tell you, I have many opinions on many fights. This is the thing I don't like about those PPVs is that it's hard because many fighters are quite similar. The level is quite similar. With that being said, I'm gonna break down the entire card. Before I do that, guys, like the video. It doesn't cost you shit. It shows appreciation. I'm trying to grow the channel, and every like, I enjoy it. I see it, and I'm like, man, like people appreciate what I do. So if you can do that, I would be grateful for that. And with that being said, let's start with the first fight in the card. We got Davidson Figueiredo against Cody Garbrandt. I'm picking Davidson Figueiredo all day. I think he looked phenomenal against Font. I've picked him against Font, and boy, I was happy. He was dominating the entire fight, and as the fight started, moving on, he looked more and more confident, and he looked better. The thing about Figueiredo is he has everything. He has a good striking, and he's a formidable grappler. And Cody Garbrandt, like, he's a good striker, obviously, but man, that chin is gone. You see, gone. Like his last two wins against Trevin Johns and Brian Kelleher, I'm not really impressed. Before that, he got knocked out by Kara France and Rob Font. He wasn't knocked out, but he lost decision. I think Figueiredo can find that chin, and he can put him to sleep. And he's winning by a knockout. I like Figueiredo as a parlay piece as well. I think he has everything it takes to win. Next one, we got Bobby Green against Jim Miller. Jim Miller, I've been betting on him in his last two fights, and he kept winning. And I like him to win here as well. It's not going to be an easy fight because Bobby Green, he's a tough opponent. He has good boxing. And the thing is, he was knocked the fuck out by Jalen Turner 4 months ago. And he got knocked like a few times. He was laying there on the floor, and the ref didn't stop the fight. And he kept eating punches. I don't know how recovered he really is, how this chin is doing. He's doing it for the money, more than anything. Jim Miller, I like his overall game, and I think he's smart enough to utilize leg kicks at the beginning to really hinder Bobby Green's ability to use his boxing later on. Therefore, I'm picking Miller. Also, you get him as an underdog, which is plus 160 is good. That's the value is with Mr. Miller. So I'm picking Miller. I see him winning by decision, but I won't be surprised if he can find the chin of Bobby Green because Miller has hands. We saw it in his fight against Jesse Butler. He sent him to the shadow realm. And if he manages to put the same strike on Bobby Green, is going to sleep. Next one, we got Jessica Andrade against Marina Rodriguez. I like the dog here as well. She's not the dog anymore. It's near even. I think that the pace, the volume, the knees, the length, the reach, all favor Marina Rodriguez. And Jessica Andrade, yeah, she did look good against Mackenzie Dern, but Mackenzie Dern looked terrible. Since she changed her gyms, she kept looking terrible. And I like Marina Rodriguez to win. She's going to win by decision or by knockout. I see a knockout happening here as well. We already see Jessica Andrade being knocked out by Jan, and she got submitted obviously as well. Marina's not going to submit her, but she can definitely knock her out. Give me Marina Rodriguez to win by decision. I think that she's a better striker. She has more volume. She's more committed, which is more important. Like Jessica Andrade, when I see a fighter having OnlyFans and all that and just not being fully committed to the fight game, it's a red flag in my book, and that's why I'm picking Rodriguez to win. Next one, we got Jalen Turner and Renato Moicano. I like Jalen Turner to win. I see him winning by knockout. First round. The thing is, if Jalen Turner is not winning first round, that's when I'm going to be probably cashing out, because Renato Moicano has shown that he's a smart fighter. And if he gets Jalen to the mat, if he manages to take down Jalen Turner, I see Jalen Turner stuffing the takedowns maybe in the first round because he's still with energy and all. But second round, man, I don't know. It starts to be scary. Like, we saw him being dragged again and again by Mateusz Gamrot, which I think he looked good, although Gamrot was all over him for 3 rounds. I still fear Moicano because he has the grappling. With that being said, I'm still picking Jalen Turner. If it gets to the second round and I see Jalen starting breathing deeply, I'm cashing out. But I'm picking Jalen to win. Next one, we got Sadik, Yusuff, and Diego Lopez. I'm picking Diego Lopez. I think that other than his submission game, Lopez is a very good striker. We saw it in his fight against Pat Sabatini. We also saw it in his fight against Movsar Evloev. Whenever Evloev allowed Lopez to start and feel comfortable with his striking, Lopez touched him. It happened. I saw the fight. I actually put some money on Movsar and I cashed out when I saw how fucking good Lopez was. And Sadik, like, I can't believe he didn't manage to finish Barboza in that fight. Like, he got him hurt bad in the first round, and he still didn't manage to finish him in a 5-round fight. So I like Lopez. He's tough. He has a good chin. He has good striking, and he has elite submission game. Like, he can submit you from anywhere. He's a finisher, and I'm putting my money on Diego Lopez. I think he wins by submission. Next, we got Holm against Kayla Harrison in 135. Kayla Harrison is coming off PFL. She's obviously a very good grappler. That's her main thing. The thing is, I'm talking about Kayla Harrison, obviously. The thing is, Holm is no slouch. She's a very good fighter. She's a very good striker. She has takedown defense. She was submitted only once in the 5th round. She lost to Misha Tate. With that being said, I just can't put money on Kayla Harrison, especially as a minus 480 favorite. I think she didn't look good in her last fight against Aspen Ladd. Like, she didn't manage to finish Aspen Ladd. That's a red flag. She had a good fight against Pacheco. Like, Pacheco is a very good fighter, Brazilian fighter. But Holm is focused. She's devoted. She can win. And I like her as the dog. Give me Holm to win by decision, or maybe by decision, because Kayla is very tough. But I also I don't know how Kayla will look at 135. Like, in her last fight, she weighed in at how much? She weighed in at 150. How the hell will she do 135? How will she look at 135? Will she have the same stamina, the same power? I don't think so. Give me Holm to win. Next one, we got Kelvin Kattar and Aljamain Sterling. I was very split on this one. Obviously, if Aljo manages to take Cater, it's Aljo all day. But if he doesn't manage to get Cater down, man, Cater has really long boxing. What I mean by that, like he manages to just use his body and really use his range effectively, and he punches hard. He punches harder than Sean O'Malley. And we saw, and that was my fear against Sterling and O'Malley. I put my money on Sterling when he fought against O'Malley. And the only thing I was afraid of was him getting knocked out, because we know he has no chin. And that's what happened. And now we're looking at Kelvin Cater, who's a good boxer and also has a very good takedown defense. And let me tell you something. I was still picking Aljamain Sterling to win until I saw that, and obviously it's not confirmed, but it looks like he has a staph infection. Like you could see in some recent photos that he has something under his lip, like a whiter dot, and also he has it on his elbow, which looks like a healing wound of a staph infection. And you know what? I saw the same with Benoit in his fight against Dustin, and that's why I didn't really like. I wasn't really high on Benoit in that fight. And I'm seeing here on Aljo, Kelvin Cater is, he had that freak knee injury in his fight against Arnold Allen, but it's been a year and a half. He should be good now to go. So give me Cater to win by knockout. That's my pick. Next fight we got Jiri, Prochazka, and Alexander Rakic. I don't know what's gonna happen here. The thing is, Jirei is a forward pressure guy. Alexander Rakic is a good counter striker. But both are coming off of an injury, and I wasn't like, Jirei didn't look good against Pereira. He just didn't. He made mistakes that really lowered my confidence in his ability to win. I like the under here. I like the under here, but I'm going to give the pick to Alexander Rakic. I think he can win. I think he can use the counter strikes to really hurt Jirei and get the knockout, or just piece him up for 3 rounds. Anyway, I'm picking Rakic to win. Next one, we got Bo Nickel and Cody Brundage. Obviously, I'm not gonna lay anything on Bo Nickel, but I see Bo winning. I'm not high on Brundage. He should have lost in his fights against Malkoun. He stole that win. Zach Reese had him in a triangle, and he managed to slam him and get the win. It's not gonna happen with Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel is an elite wrestler, and he has IQ. Like, he knows what he's doing. I hope he's not gonna try to strike with Brundage. I hope he's gonna try to wrestle, as he should. I'm picking the under. That's my pick. I think the value is in the under because it's Bo Nickel all over him getting an arm triangle submission, or it's Cody Brundage with a freak knockout getting Bo Nickel to sleep. That's the only thing I see happening here, and I'm leaning towards Bo Nickel finishing the fight early, as he did in his last 5 fights. So give me the under, but I'm picking Nickel. Next, we got Charles Oliveira against Arman Tsarukyan. This is going to be a close fight. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not fading anyone, but having Charles Oliveira as a plus 185 underdog is just it's just disrespectful. Arman Tsarukyan, his only choice would be to chain wrestle Oliveira. But we know how good Oliveira is with his jiu-jitsu. We know that he can pose threat on Tsarukyan in any moment. And he's even more dangerous in his striking. I just have to go where there's value, which is the Bronx. He obviously had the better competition. He won against Gaethje, he won against Pereira, he won against Chandler. He lost to Makhachev, and he won against Dariush. Okay, he won against Dariush. He won against Silva. And let me tell you something. Silva was close to winning there. At one point, Silva really touched Arman. And I saw a possible finish by Silva. But man, Oliveira, in my opinion, is going to win. Probably by submission or knockout. It's going to be a finish. I like the under here. It's going to be a really good fight. Looking forward to it. But I put my bet on the Bronx to get the win. Just because the value is on him. Just because he has the experience. And he's dangerous everywhere. Next fight, we got Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway. This is going to be an interesting fight as well. I think this is the fight people are looking forward the most. We got Justin Gaethje, who's a hard hitter, but also a very good leg kicker. And we got Max Holloway, who's very durable. He has volume, but he doesn't really pack the power to knock out Justin Gaethje, in my opinion. I'm picking Gaethje to win. Can he knock out Holloway? He can. If there's someone who can knock out Holloway, it's Justin Gaethje. But I see it going to a decision because Justin Gaethje is probably going to utilize his leg kicks to really slow down Holloway, to hinder his boxing, and just, keep doing that until they get to the 5th round. I don't see Holloway, obviously, I don't see Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje, but he can win by decision. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm probably not going to make any bet on this fight just because I really want to enjoy the fight. So I'm picking Justin Gaethje to win by decision, but no bet here. Next one, we got the co-main event, Weili Zhang and Xiaonan Yan. I like the underdog. I really like the underdog. And I really like the underdog as a moderate, as a plus 320. People are sleeping on Yan. She's a really good striker. She can knock out Zhang. You forgot that Zhang got knocked out by Rose Namajunas. Rose Namajunas doesn't have a better wrestling defense than Yan. I don't think so. Xiaonan, she had a fight against Mackenzie Dern and she won. And that's when still Mackenzie Dern was in a good camp. She knocked out Jessica Andrade. She has power. She's fast. Overall she's a very good fighter. And Weili Zhang, yeah, she's a good fighter. She has the grappling, she has the takedowns, but she can get hit and she can sleep. I see her getting slept here. I'm gonna go forward and say that she's gonna sleep here. I see Yan getting the knockout, winning by knockout. That's it. That's my pick. I'm really high on Yan. I got a unit on her. I usually never make a pick on this big of an underdog, but I think that the bookies are horribly wrong here. I like Yan to win. Winning by knockout. I don't know why I picked Zhang knockout here, but that's Yan all day, in my opinion. Last fight, we got Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill. At the beginning, I was picking Jamal, but then I changed my mind and went on picking Pereira. He has more experience. Jamal Hill is coming off a very brutal surgery, and he got an injury in his Achilles heel, if I'm not mistaken. And Poatan, man, like he keeps winning. You know, I think Jan Blachowicz won in this fight. If he wasn't gassing that bad, like the judges would have given him the win. He looked phenomenal against Jiri, and he has the leg kicks, he has the power to win. I'm not high on Jamal Hill. Who he fought? Glover Teixeira, like the skeleton of Glover Teixeira. Thiago Santos, who's getting not like whose people are winning against him in the Bellator now every time. Johnny Walker, Jimmy Crute, come on. Alex Pereira has fought the much better competition. He has much more experience. He's longer in the fight game, in the martial arts realm, and I'm picking Pereira Poatan to win by knockout. Confident pick. That's it, guys. If you haven't, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me. If you like the video, it helps a lot for the channel to grow. With that being said, guys, if you have any other opinion, let me know. Write them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.